Greetings, adventurers. This is DM Kurt. And this week, the big question on a lot of YouTubers' channels is DC20 going to be the next D&D-Killer? Okay, I'm going to go through here and just say no. Okay? To be the next of something, there has to have been something. There have been no D&D killers, so technically, pedantically, no. It can't be the next of something there hasn't already been one of. Okay, but is DC20 a good game? Looks like it. Looks like it. Is it going to do well? Yes, it's going to do well. It's going to pull a profit. And I predict it's going to hang in there. So here's my reasoning. Okay. The guy behind DC20 calls himself Dungeon Coach. He's got a large channel. He's been advertising this game pretty well. And because he's got a large reach, and he's got a lot of friends who have also done videos, and then, of course, there's people who want to bandwagon videos on it, it's got a lot of word of mouth. He's been putting out sponsored ads on social media about his game. Okay? A lot of word of mouth. So, when his Kickstarter came out, it had the publicity build-up already behind it, and he put a small starter goal on it, which 1 minute funded. Yeah, $20,000. That's like nothing. Okay, for Kickstarters for a large thing. So, it was over $1 million on the Kickstarter yesterday. Well over that. Successful. Okay. Is it going to shove all the Hasbro books off the shelves at your local game store and take the place of glory on those shelves? No, it's not. But I think Shadowdark is the best example of a parallel, okay? Shadowdark is a better game than D&D in some respects, okay? If you were to take someone who knew nothing about playing role-playing games and you wanted to get them in the hobby, this is a very basic game they could easily get into, and then you could, in a modular fashion, add more rules, add more whatever. There's third-party classes, there's third-party supplements, there's all kinds of stuff. It's a fantasy game, but then there's... I did a review of Blacklight, which was a modern horror-like X-Files ghost hunting kind of thing tacked on for it. I mean, it's modular. You can add up all kinds of stuff. Great book. But this is an example. You had a author who already had their foot in the door in the hobby. They had a game that was innovative, mechanically sound. And where is it now? Well, on Facebook or Twitter, you can ask questions about the game. Boom, you'll get answers. There are dedicated groups for discussing this game, playing this game. Okay? They're out there. This is a solid little niche of the RPG scene. So that's what I predict for DC20. He's got a lot of stuff going on with it mechanically. I suspect it's going to do very well. Will it be what shuts D&D down? No. No, it won't. What's going to shut D&D down is going to be a combination of things. It's going to be Hasbro WotC themselves shutting it down. That's what's going to be the D&D killer. So we have 2 years of Hasbro stepping on their own toes, and the OGL scandal, the Pinkertons nonsense, various things that their executives have said towards and about their fan base, etc., etc. Books of questionable quality, like the Book of Many Things that had the little deck of cards that were all cut different sizes because they forgot how to cut cards, even though they sell Magic the Gathering cards that are all perfectly cut. You know, little things like that for 2 years. And, well, 5e is kind of at the end of its life cycle. So they're putting out this one D&D thing, and they're trying to switch to a subscription digital online model where you would essentially rent your own books electronically and own nothing. That's only going to go so far. Their physical books have gone up in price. They're going to go $60 to $90, depending on what it is. And We're entering into a place in our country, hate to get political, but more economical. Your grocery cart is more expensive to fill. Your gas tank is not cheap to fill. Your wages are not keeping up with inflation. The real inflation, the real actual prices that come out of your household. Your paycheck's not keeping up with that. And so your hobby budget shrinks first. Your non-essentials shrink first as D&D prices are raising up, and then you got $25 third-party stuff instead of $60 to $90 WotC stuff. The choice is clear. Then again, you can also consider how if you already have a lot of books for various games, you no longer have to buy new books because it's all up here. Okay, if you have the core, you can make up your own monsters, make up your own adventures, etc., etc. I'm making up my own thing right now. I'm playing in a game that is completely, from the mind of one of my players / co-DMs. At what point are you going to do this? No, the real D&D killer is going to be Hasbro, WotC themselves when they decide that it's just not profitable to carry on, when their subscription model fails, etc. Because they're already laying off hundreds of people a few days before Christmas because, they're already flat out telling us, hey, we are going to be using AI to replace people. We're already going to be strip mining, data mining our old modules, our old books, our old material. Well, they're going to need fewer people. So they're slimming down. And eventually, at some point, they just got to go, you know what? It still isn't worth it. If people aren't paying these prices, then they'll shut it down. And probably, in my estimation, just keep a hold of the IP. And if anybody wants to try to put out D&D books, sure, pay us this much up front plus this much percentage of your gross revenue. We'll lease the IP out. And it's passive income for them at that point. It costs them nothing more than a lawyer to draft up a contract for somebody else to go do all the hassle. But back to my initial question. No, DC20, as good as it may be, isn't going to be the next D&D killer. That is a hype question that's come up since World of Warcraft. When World of Warcraft was in its prime, anytime an MMO, I played City of Heroes, would come up, or a video game would come up, is this the new WoW killer? No, World of Warcraft carried on. There's room in the marketplace for more than one product. So no, I consider the basic question itself a little cringy. Is this the next YouTube killer? Stay tuned. DM Kurt out.